A lot of people get this wrong, and maybe, just maybe, you do too. You might think that when you left, she didn't care, that she moved on, unaffected. But that's not the truth. Your silence, it's not meaningless. It stirs her mind in ways you can't even imagine. At first, she might seem strong, acting as if nothing happened. But beneath that facade, everything is different. And the most important part isn't just that your silence makes her miss you, it's how she reacts afterward. Before we dive deeper, if you're into Stoicism and mastering your emotions, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. That way, you won't miss out on powerful insights. And hey, if you're feeling this, drop a 1 in the comments. If not, leave a 2. I'm always open to improving. Stick around until the end because you're about to learn exactly how to handle this, calmly, wisely, and in a way that makes her truly feel your absence deep down. The first sign, she reaches out randomly. But is it really random? At first, she's determined. She won't text you. She tells herself she doesn't care, that she's better off without you. She keeps busy, distracts herself, convinces her heart that she's fine. But then, her finger hovers over your name in her contacts. She hesitates. Should she send a message? Maybe she's held out for days, even weeks, telling herself that staying silent is the right choice, that ignoring you will help her stay in control. But here's the thing. Silence is powerful. It plays with the mind. It makes people question everything. And so, what does she do? She breaks the silence, but not in an obvious way. Not yet. It's never a direct, "I miss you." Never, "I regret what happened." That would be too vulnerable. Instead, she finds an excuse, something casual, something indirect, just enough to test the waters. "Hey, I just saw something that reminded me of you." A classic move, a safe way to reopen the conversation without looking desperate. Maybe she likes an old post of yours. Maybe she reacts to something you shared. Just a little nudge to see if you'll bite. Because in that moment, she's wondering, have you forgotten about me? She's testing you, seeing if she still has an emotional pull on you. And here's where it gets interesting. If you respond too quickly, she might suddenly pull back, acting distant, because she got the validation she was looking for. But if you ignore her, if you reply briefly, coldly, that's when the real emotions start kicking in. That's when frustration sets in. Because if she truly didn't care, she wouldn't feel the need to check. The moment she realizes your absence, really feels it, her ego takes a hit. And that's when she starts trying to pull you back in, not because she wants control, but because she misses you. And that's your power. The second sign. She suddenly becomes more active on social media. A sign you can't ignore. Have you ever noticed that right after you go silent, she suddenly starts posting more? This is not a coincidence. When someone misses you but refuses to admit it, they find other ways to get your attention. And in today's world, what's the easiest way? Social media. She wants you to see her, to notice her, but she doesn't want to be the one to break the silence. So, what does she do? Suddenly there are more selfies than usual, stunning, glowing, as if she's living her best life, without you. She starts posting vague emotional captions like, "Everything happens for a reason," or "Lessons learned." Lyrics from songs about pain, regret, or longing, just enough to make you stop and think, is she talking about me? Reposting old pictures, ones from when you were together, knowing full well that you'll notice. Sharing posts about love, heartbreak, self-growth, things she knows will hit you on a deeper level. And sometimes she takes it even further. A picture with someone else. a subtle hint that she might be moving on, not because she truly has, but because she wants to spark something in you. Jealousy, curiosity, anything that forces you to react. Because in that moment, she's planting a question in your mind. Has she really forgotten about me? But here's the most important part. The less you react, the more frustrated she gets. If these little tricks don't work, if you don't bite, she starts to feel like she's losing control over you. And that's when the mask starts to slip. That's when her true feelings begin to show. The third sign, she secretly asks about you through mutual friends, when her concern can no longer be hidden. If she truly misses you, but her pride won't let her reach out, she'll find another way to check in on you. She won't text you directly. That would be admitting too much. Instead, she'll go through mutual friends, casually, subtly, but with a purpose. Hey, how's he been doing these days? Has he been seeing anyone? But beneath those words, what she's really asking is he okay without me? She wants to hear that you're struggling, that you've been checking her social media, that maybe, just maybe, you've even tried reaching out, because that would mean she still matters to you. But then, when she hears the opposite, that you're fine, happy, living your life as if nothing happened, that's the moment it truly stings. That's the moment reality hits her. She expected you to miss her, to wait for her, to react to her absence. But instead, silence. No messages, no signs of suffering, no desperate attempts to get her back. And that drives her crazy. Because in her mind, if a man really cared, he wouldn't just let go so easily. And now, doubts start creeping in. Am I still important to him? Has he really moved on? Wait, what if he's found someone else? And the moment these thoughts take hold, everything shifts. She's no longer in control. Now, you hold the power. The fourth sign. She suddenly shows up where you are. This is when things get really interesting. If she knows the places you frequent, your gym, your favorite cafe, that club you love, or an event she knows you wouldn't miss, don't be surprised if out of nowhere she just happens to be there too. But let's be real. This is not a coincidence. It's calculated. She knows exactly what she's doing. She wants you to see her, to notice her, and most importantly, to wonder if it truly was an accident. She'll show up looking stunning, confident, radiant, as if she's glowing without you. She might even act surprised to see you, playing it off with a casual, "Oh wow, I didn't expect to see you here." But don't be fooled. She knew. She orchestrated this moment, hoping that by just being there, she'll stir something inside you. Maybe a memory, maybe an emotion, maybe even a little bit of jealousy. But now that you recognize these signs, you're in control. You won't fall for the game so easily. You'll keep your composure. You'll handle the situation with confidence, self-respect, and power. Because at the end of the day, actions speak louder than words. Pay attention to the subtle hints she leaves. Observe but don't react emotionally. Stay calm, stay composed, because you hold the power now. The fifth sign, she starts hinting at regret. A sign she doesn't want to lose you. When a woman truly misses you, she'll start showing signs that she wants you back, but she'll never say it outright. Instead, she'll leave breadcrumbs, small hints, subtle gestures, just enough to see if you're still paying attention. Maybe she posts something on social media about fixing past mistakes. Maybe she texts you out of nowhere about a random memory you shared. Or maybe she finally sends that message, the one designed to stir your emotions. I miss our conversations. But the biggest sign? She apologizes, even if it's subtle, even if it's masked in casual words. I know I could have handled things better. I didn't appreciate you enough. I never wanted things to turn out this way. At this point, her pride starts to break down. She begins to realize exactly what she's lost. But here's the real question. Do you want to give her another chance? That's entirely up to you. But if you want her to keep wondering, if you want to stay in control, the best thing you can do? Leave her in uncertainty. Because when a woman truly realizes she's lost someone valuable, she never forgets it. Now you understand the psychology behind what happens when you walk away. Silence is powerful if you use it the right way, so stay in control. Don't chase. Let her actions speak louder than her words, because when someone truly misses you, you won't have to wonder. Her behavior will tell you everything. The sixth sign, she pretends to be fine, but her emotions say otherwise. At first, she acts like nothing happened. She stays calm, indifferent, pretending that losing you hasn't affected her at all. Maybe she even convinces herself that cutting ties was the right choice, that she's strong enough to move on quickly. But here's the truth. Emotions don't just disappear. No matter how much she tries to suppress them, the weight of your absence slowly starts to sink in. And the more attached she was to you, the stronger her emotional reaction will be, because deep down, she knows she can't have you anymore. And that's when she starts to lose control. At first, she does what most people do. She tries to prove she's doing just fine. She posts happy photos, out partying with friends, laughing, living her best life, trying to convince the world and herself that she's better off without you. But soon after, the shift happens. Her mood changes. She becomes irritable, easily angered, frustrated over small things she never cared about before. She lashes out at friends, at family, even at complete strangers. But deep down, it's not about them. It's about you. She's emotionally overwhelmed, but she won't admit it. And if she happens to see you in person, you might notice her acting cold, distant, maybe even rude, as if she's trying to push you away. And at first you might think, wow, she really doesn't care anymore. But here's the reality. If she truly didn't care, she wouldn't be reacting at all. A woman who has actually moved on doesn't feel the need to prove anything. She won't go out of her way to act distant or try to make you jealous. Her emotional instability, the frustration, the mood swings, the forced indifference are clear signs that she still feels something for you, even if she refuses to admit it. And this is the moment when the emotional balance shifts. Because while she's spiraling, losing control of her emotions, you remain calm, focused, and in control of your life. And that difference? It confuses her the most. The seventh sign, she starts showing up at places you used to go. One of the clearest signs that she's still thinking about you, she suddenly starts appearing at places she never used to visit, places she knows you'll be. You might tell yourself it's just a coincidence, but it's not. A woman who genuinely wants to move on will avoid locations that remind her of you. She won't put herself in situations that could trigger old memories. But when she starts missing you, when the emptiness of your absence begins to sink in, she might subconsciously, or even intentionally, try to recreate those past moments. Suddenly, she's at your favorite cafe, even though she never liked it before. If you regularly go to the gym, she might conveniently sign up for a membership. If there's a group gathering with mutual friends, she makes sure she's there. She might even accidentally bump into you at the grocery store, somewhere she never used to shop, or she just happens to take a walk along the exact route she knows you frequent. She doesn't just want to be there, she wants you to see her, and when she does, She makes sure she looks better than ever, radiant, confident, as if she's having the time of her life. But in reality, she's watching you, waiting, observing, looking for even the smallest sign that you still care. Because deep down, she's asking herself, do I still have an effect on him? And here's the key. What should you do? If you rush over, act excited, or show that you still care, she'll feel like she won. But if you remain calm, unbothered, and simply continue on your own path, you stay in control. And that composure? That's what confuses her the most. The eighth sign. She starts hinting that she's unhappy, a subtle way to get your attention. When a woman misses you, but her pride won't let her admit it, she won't say it outright. Instead, she'll hint at it. At first she acts strong, carefree, like nothing has changed. She posts happy photos, out with friends, laughing, glowing, as if life has never been better. But over time, the cracks begin to show. She starts posting sad song lyrics, ones that feel oddly meaningful. She shares quotes about loss, regret, or letting go, as if she's speaking to someone, you. Or maybe she uploads a photo from a place you two used to go together, without any explanation. This isn't random. These are signals, subtle, indirect messages meant for you. She's hoping you'll notice. She's hoping you'll reach out first. Because deep down, she doesn't want to be the one to break the silence. She wants you to do it, so she can tell herself, he still can't resist me, he's still thinking about me. But this is where your real power comes in. You let her sit in her own regret. You let time teach her a lesson. And the longer she waits, the more she realizes she was the one who made the mistake. Until eventually, she's left with only two choices: swallow her pride or lose you forever. The ninth sign. She tries to make you jealous. When a woman deeply misses you, but feels frustrated that you're not chasing her, she might turn to the oldest trick in the book, jealousy. She wants to get a reaction. She wants to stir something inside you, and so she plays her cards carefully. She posts a picture with another guy, making sure you'll see it. She casually mentions dating someone new, knowing it'll reach you through mutual friends. She flirts publicly, just enough to make you wonder if she's already moved on. But here's what you need to understand. If she had truly moved on, she wouldn't need to prove anything. The fact that she's trying so hard to make sure you see her with another guy, it doesn't mean she's over you. It means she's trying to manipulate your emotions. She's testing you, watching, waiting. She wants to see if you still care, if she can still make you react. And the worst thing you could do? Fall for the trap. If you act jealous, if you text her, if you emotionally react in any way, she'll know she still has power over you. So what's the best move? Don't care. No jealousy, no reaction, nothing. Because the more she realizes her tricks aren't working, the more frustrated she becomes. And that's when everything truly shifts in your favor. The 10th sign. She finally breaks down and reaches out when her emotions can no longer be hidden. This is the final stage. After all the social media posts, the subtle hints, and the failed attempts to make you jealous, she finally realizes none of it worked. And that's when she does the one thing she swore she would never do. She reaches out. At first, she keeps it casual, nonchalant, safe. Hey, how have you been? Just wanted to check in on you. Or even a completely random, accidental text. But make no mistake, this is not random. She hasn't stopped thinking about you. She's been waiting, hoping you would break the silence first. But you didn't. And now, her pride has collapsed under the weight of her emotions. She has to know. Do I still have a place in his mind, in his heart? But the real question isn't about her. It's about you. What will you do next? Because if you handle this moment correctly, she'll miss you even more than she ever expected. And that is the ultimate shift in power. The 11th sign, she starts comparing every man to you, a clear sign of regret. When a woman truly misses you but tries to move on, she might convince herself she's ready to start fresh. She tells herself it's time to meet someone new, time to forget, time to fill the void. So she takes action. She downloads dating apps. She goes out more. She even starts talking to another guy. But here's where it backfires. Because the more she interacts with other men, the more she realizes something is missing. They can't compare to you. And it's not just because of what you did. It's because of how you made her feel. At first, she tries to ignore it. She tells herself she just needs more time. Maybe she's just adjusting. Maybe she just misses having someone, not necessarily you. But then the comparisons start creeping in. His sense of humor? It's not like yours. His presence? It doesn't feel the same. Their conversations? Forced, empty, lacking depth. And then the worst realization hits her. It's not just that he's different. She's different too. Because when she was with you, she felt something real, something deep. And now, she's stuck in shallow interactions that don't bring her fulfillment. And that's when it all comes rushing back. She replays old memories. She wonders if she made a mistake. She starts regretting pushing you away. And most importantly, she now knows for certain you are irreplaceable. The final sign, she becomes more nostalgic than ever. When a woman deeply misses you, she starts living in the past. She tells herself she's moved on. But her actions, they tell a different story. She scrolls through old photos of you two, staring a little too long at the moments that once felt so effortless. She rewatches videos you made together, reliving the way you laughed, the way you looked at her. She reminisces about inside jokes, the ones only you two would ever understand. And what does this do? It reinforces her emotional attachment to you. Suddenly, everything reminds her of you. A random song plays, and instantly, she's transported back to a moment with you. A familiar scent lingers in the air, and she feels the weight of your absence. She passes by a place you both loved, and all the emotions come rushing back. At first, she tries to fight it. She tells herself it's just nostalgia, that it's just a phase. But the harder she tries to suppress it, the stronger it becomes. And here's the most powerful part. She starts associating you with some of the best moments of her life. The deeper that feeling grows, the harder it becomes for her to let go. And when she finally reaches out, it's not just because she misses you, it's because she can't stand the thought of not having you in her life anymore. True value lies in who you become, not in who misses you. From my perspective, a man's worth isn't measured by whether someone regrets losing him. That's not the real question. The real question is, who have you become? If you're still waiting for signs from her, still wondering if she thinks about you, then you're handing over control of your emotions to someone else. But the real victory? It happens when you truly move on. No longer caring, no longer waiting, no longer seeking validation from the past. Because true freedom isn't about someone finally realizing your worth. It's about no longer needing them to. And that's power. We've just uncovered the subtle yet powerful signs that she still thinks about you. No matter how hard she tries to hide it, she does. At first, she casually reaches out, but is it really random number? It's the result of days of internal struggle. She fights it, resists it, until finally she breaks the silence with a message that seems accidental. But beneath those words, there's a deeper question. Have you forgotten me? And when she doesn't get the response she was hoping for, she shifts strategies. Suddenly she's more active on social media, posting stunning photos, sharing nostalgic songs, or quietly uploading old memories of you two. Not to show off, but to plant a thought in your mind. Does he still think about me? But that's not enough. She starts asking mutual friends about you, showing up at places she knows you'll be, looking confident, looking beautiful, but deep down, she's just waiting, watching, for your reaction. And if all of this still doesn't work, she turns up the intensity, hinting at regret, trying to make you jealous, pretending she's completely fine. But emotions like these, they can't be hidden forever. And when she realizes you're not reacting the way she expected, doubt creeps in. Regret takes hold. Did I make a mistake? Does he still care? Has he really moved on? That's when she can't take it anymore. No more subtle signs, no more mind games. She finally reaches out, because one undeniable truth remains. She truly misses you. Now, the question is, how will you respond? Will you let her back in easily? Or will you let her continue living with regret? The decision is yours. If this video made you reflect, sparked a new perspective, or inspired change, don't forget to like and subscribe to Stoic Station. Every small action today can be a big step forward in building a strong mindset and mastering your life. Keep pushing forward. Keep growing. Keep becoming the best version of yourself.